Welcome in, child of mine, my sweet baby princess or prince. I love you. Sorry, I'm a little wheezy today because when the weather changes, your dad can't breathe. But anyway, welcome into another episode of Urban Stepdad, where me, Sam and Pink, I'm your new papa because your real dad hates you, and I don't agree with him. I think you're awfully lovable. And more for me, you know? Every day, new kids in my life. But I'm good with kids. I'm good with them. I'm a good dad. Okay? And I love you. You should be proud of me. We're going to start there. I'm going to go ahead and jump in there with my insecurities. You should be proud of me because why? This is the second week in a row I've done a podcast. And you might be saying, well, dude, it's your dream and your job. And the answer is yes. But also, most of my life, I've just laid in bed and touched myself and cried about it. So this is new for me. I'm really trying, okay? Your dad has a tiny brain, a big, beautiful tiny brain, but in the middle of it, where like the part that's supposed to get stuff done, yeah, it's not great. It's not the best. But hey, I need to start talking nice about myself. That's today's episode. Why are we going to talk about myself today? Because I'm Italian, but also because I don't have a lot of entries from you guys, which is totally fine because I haven't asked or communicated to you how to write in. So that kind of is a recipe for not having entries. But also, I kind of have to poop. So you should also be proud of me because I'm going to hold it in the whole entire time. And I'm sorry, your dad poops. And you poop too. I'm tired of you guys acting like you don't poop. And also, dude, give me my flowers. The little camera that you're seeing me on right now, you little cutie pie, we're making eye contact. I'm staring at you, you're staring at me. We should kiss on the forehead because now I legally adopted you, so we shouldn't kiss. But I charged it. It's fully charged and it's not going to die. The whole episode, you're going to see me in my little bumblebee outfit. I look like a bumblebee. Even the socks. Pretty exciting stuff. But real quick, before we start the episode, even though it's already started, I just want to say I'm feeling a lot better. Okay. I have a new system in place and I think I'm going to keep punching my hand while I do that because that's how you make a point, apparently. And I'm calling myself out for being a flicky little flick boy. You wish it was your bean, don't you? You wish I was punching your little bean. I bet you do. I bet you do. I bet your bean is lonely. You probably have a lonely little bean down there. Or a wiener. You probably don't want me to punch your wiener, but maybe you do. You guys are kind of freaky. And it's cool though. I'm a little freaky too. Sometimes I like people to put a hot wax on me and call me a candle. Not sure why, but sometimes it's nice to be a candle. You know, I have a wick. I have a wick. Anyway, what are we talking about? Real quick, thank you. Shout out to Haley. Your name is Haley, and you gave me this. And also shout out to everybody else. You guys have my fan wall is growing rapidly, and it literally makes me happy. On the days where I'm laying down, touching myself and crying, like again, I normally do, I look at that, and it makes my heart really happy. So, fun fact, I kind of struggle to feel loved. Not sure what that's about. Still working on it, and I'm really working on loving myself, okay? It's a lifelong journey, guys. And I'm doing a lot better than I ever have. But it does really help to see just how nice you guys are to me and that you care. It does help. I'm very blessed to have that. So I just want to say thank you to everybody who sent me something. But real quick, as we are scatterbrained, as always, because you're signing up to watch a raccoon try to tell you how to have a better life, who's also your father. I'm a raccoon dad. So if you want a streamlined sentence, go talk to somebody who's boring and bad in bed. Because if you're good at talking, you're boring and you're bad in bed. Okay? Put that on my gravestone. But anyway, salmonpink.com. If you go there, Urban Stepdad, you can write it in. And please use fake names, you silly gooses. Use fake names. A, because they're funny, and B, because then you put me on the spot, and I have to come up with a fake name for you, and 90% of the time, I go with, like, Poopy Butthole Boy. And I can only do so many Poopy Butthole Boys before I just keep repeating the names, okay? So you guys think I'm clever and creative. No. I just think about sphincter and try my best, and I've gotten pretty far, but dude, I need some help. So anyway, we're going to play the music. We're going to play that sweet tune. And then we're going to start talking. Even though we've been talking. We've been talking, dude. You and me have been communicating to each other this entire time. And the reason I can get loud and I can lean back and I can scream, ah, my neighbor isn't home. Yeah, my neighbor isn't home. And also yesterday, my neighbor came over because we were walking into our houses at the same time. And he was like, I want to say thank you. I was like, for what? He goes, you've been keeping it down. And I really appreciate that. And I know it was annoying of me to ask that, but seriously, it means a lot to me. And I said, I didn't. I said, oh, really, man? Thank you. And it made me feel really warm inside and like a good person because, you know, I'm a people pleaser. So I whisper now in my house. But then I wait for him to leave. And then I have fun because that's what people pleasers do. We isolate ourselves so we can be ourselves. And then anybody gives us any conflict, we shut down. We shut down. Oh, no. Here I go. Someone charge me. And then someone calls me pretty, and it's like, whoa. I start beating off. I'm just kidding. I'm not, actually. Anyway, okay. Cue the music. And let's get into this thing. Music time. All of my cloudy days, you were just a prayer away. Waiting my life for the sunshine. All of my cloudy days. What a beautiful tune. I really like that one. Okay. Of course, as you know, I definitely did not sit down and look through my stuff again because I think it's fun for you to stare at me, and I think it's relatable. And also, too, my air conditioning just turned on, so I'm gonna flip out. I actually don't have a single new advice from you guys. So that's cool. That's cool. This is great. This is going so good, dude. This is going so good. I'm so prepared for this. But that's relatable because you're not prepared either. You're not prepared. You might be going for a walk right now. Take a breath. Enjoy the nature, okay? Don't turn me off, but enjoy nature. Let's look at trees together on your cute little walk. Nice. Is that an evergreen? I don't know trees. I don't know what that tree is, but I like it. It's bushy, like my peen. Anyway, okay. So what are we going to talk about today? Actually, let's just do some solid life advice. How about that? This is life advice. We're going to name the episode Advice. We're not going to name it that. It's a terrible name. We're going to name it Banana Sword. And you're only going to understand that reference after you watch this. Are you ready? I have banana swords now, which is pretty cool. And the tip flies off like we're at a circumcision party. Anyway, okay. So I had a conversation last night. By the way, we started the episode now, okay? Look at me adjusting myself to get serious. I'm serious. Again, we're serious. So I had a conversation last night because I've been feeling overwhelmed, okay? And it's not because you guys don't love me, and it's not because I'm not capable. Sorry, I'm drinking a little soda pop. Please don't tell anybody, but it's making me a little burpy. And I never burp. I never do. The only gas I pass is from that sweet little ass of mine. So anyway, okay. So I was having a conversation last night because I've been feeling overwhelmed by work, okay? I do a lot of creative stuff, as you know, okay? I do this. And then sometimes I go live and touch my nipples. And sometimes I also make videos. And let's just list my qualities. I'm creative, which is really cool. I'm also a perfectionist, which makes things really hard. I'm also a people pleaser, so when people don't like my stuff, it hurts my feelings, but I need to work on that. And then the other one is, dude, my moods change all the time, right? Because I'm human, right? So I'm human. So some days I feel creative, and some days I absolutely do not. And also, I'm really bad at having a schedule, but I thrive when I have a little bit of a schedule, okay? So your boy was burning out like a hot dude does in high school, okay? And so luckily I was ugly in high school, so I'm still chasing the top, but I still have my potential. I'm not balding and getting random women pregnant. I am doing both of those things, but I'm doing it with style, okay? So that's pretty cool. Shout out to all the babies I don't take care of. But anyway, okay. So I was crashing out a little bit, burning out, and I was on the phone with a little love, someone I love, a dear, close person of mine. It's you guys, it's all of you, but I was on the phone call with one of you. And I was just saying, like, hey, I'm not doing well. And I think it's because I just feel like it's endless. I have no separation between work and my dreams and life. Okay? I went and saw a friend for the first time in months the other day. Turns out it made me happy. Who would have thought? Okay? So, what I'm going to be doing now, after some conversations and someone being real with me, shout out, appreciate it, is I have a schedule now. And you're in the middle of that schedule. This is called work hours. Okay? So I don't get to touch myself one time until 5 o'clock. 5 o'clock, pants off, wiener in hand, crying. Okay? But until then, we're going to be productive because I need separation. I need separation. So does he. He's upset. Spaghetti. Okay? I did make a clay man out of clay, and now every time Cowboy sees it, he barks and poops a little bit and then runs away. So that's his new little game he likes to play, freak himself out. It's like me when I look in the mirror on a bad day. Ah! And then I poop a little bit. You know, father like son. But anyway, is this making any sense? I have a schedule now. Okay? So my working hours are when I wake up to 5. Okay? So that's what I try to do. And today I did it. I'm doing good. Day 1, I'm doing good, dude. I went to the post office. No one sent me anything vibrating today, but I did get some letters for the wall, and I really appreciate that. That's super cutesy. But anyway, so we have working hours now, which I think is going to help me be productive, man, and also add a little bit of separation because, like I said, I now have a slot of time to work and be creative so I don't burn myself out and feel like I have to do it all day. And then at 5 o'clock, I can go to my bed, put on a sad movie, and play with my holes. And so anyway, I think it's going to be really helpful for me. So we're going to test this out right now, and we're going to see how it's going, okay? But anyway, so that's just a little update for you, a little life update. I'm doing a schedule now, and I've said that 37 times. I feel like I got the point across, and I keep playing with my hands like an Italian man trying to tell his wife that he hates her, and I just can't stop. But I think it's cute, so I'm going to keep doing it, whatever. I bet you wish that was your legs. Your little why are your legs so tiny? Look how tiny your legs have to be. This is the farthest they spread. Your hips are whack and your legs are small. And if your hips are whack and you do have tiny legs, I still love you. Shout out to John, my best friend John. I know you're watching this. You have tiny legs and bad hips, and I still love you. And you're the best. So I love you and your little freaky little legs, dude. What's wrong with your legs, dude? Were you born like that? Were you born like that, John? Anyway, just kidding. You're beautiful. I love you. I love all of you. So also, too, we're going to have a deep conversation real quick because also last night when I was having this conversation about how I need to have a schedule like everyone else in the world, okay, and it turns out it's super unhealthy to just feel lost all the time, okay? You ever seen a movie? Imagine if the movie had no timeline, and when they made the movie, everyone involved with the movie acted at separate times, 90% of the time without a camera, and then it was confused why it wasn't happening, and then the entire cast just touched themselves and cried, and then never did anything. And then they all were like, how come the movie isn't made? So that's how I've been living for 27 years of my life. So it's about time I have a little schedule. Anyway, I need to stop saying... I need to stop talking about schedules. Oh my God. Oh my gosh, dude. It's a schedule, bro. You're fine. Okay, let's talk about... What were we talking about? Okay. You're good, dude. Take a breather. Take a breather. Okay, so we're back. We're zoned in. Nama gay. You know what I mean? It's funnier to say that than namaste. I think it's funny. Nama gay. Anyway, okay. We like boys. Let's just go forward on this. Take a sip of my water. It's almost empty. I didn't even prepare my water. Did I mention I'm dressed like a bumblebee? Bzz. Okay. So last night, I cried. A good cry. Because, let's be real. Okay, we're going to get serious right now. I know we've been laughing and giggling, and you've been watching me make no sense and cry about it. But I'm working on being grateful. And I was trying to figure out why I feel ungrateful. And it makes me feel really bad about myself. And it's not like I'm ungrateful, like I don't care about anything or anybody. But I'm so focused on my dreams and my future that it's really hard for me to appreciate the work I've done. Like, I think I'm mostly ungrateful for myself. and the hard work I've put in and how much I've done to really change myself for the better. I'm so focused on the moment and the future that I never really look back and say, dude, look how far you've come. And this started, I was trying to explain this because honestly, this is good advice. If you're really overwhelmed, kind of bleed your heart out to somebody. And I know that might be scary. Don't do it to like a random stranger because, dude, they're just trying to buy eggs. So a grocery store is not a good time to do this. But like, I just called a close person of mine and I said, hey, you know, I feel ungrateful to myself. And I just feel like it's really hard for me to see how far I've come. And because when I do look back, it just kind of blurry. And I think it's because I'm so in the moment that I'm not writing down receipts in the moment, if that makes sense. Like it's very hard for me to be like, okay, remember this, I'm living so quickly all the time. And I am a person who I've gone through a lot of change, man. Even me a few months ago, man. And I'm constantly trying to learn and evolve, but I don't take time to sit down and enjoy the moment. And if that's making any sense, I said it really beautifully last night. It was, that's a little cocky saying I said it beautifully last night, but say, you know what? Screw off, Pinocchio. I can be nice to myself and say that I'm proud of the things I said. I'm having this is literally just an episode of me arguing with myself out loud. I hope you know this is what my brain is like. But anyway, so it was basically every time I do something that I'm proud of or I'm successful at something I want to do, like I hit a milestone or I figure something out or things are going really good. Okay. I'm always moving to the next thing. So I say, okay, cool, got this done, next. And I think I want to figure out a nice balance of sticking around in that moment a little bit longer. Like I don't celebrate things, and I also don't give myself a break. And so I'm trying to figure out that balance, and that's going to be a new journey I'm going on, where I'm just trying to figure out how to balance being a dreamer and being someone who refuses to not chase their dreams, but also enjoying chasing them. Because isn't that the point? Like if you write it on paper, like, why do you want your dreams to come true? Why are you working so hard towards something? It's probably to feel good, right? I mean, I think on paper, the answer would be to feel good about yourself and be proud of yourself and accomplish things. But basically what I'm doing is I'm working hard, accomplishing things, and then complaining that it wasn't the third thing down the list to accomplish, as if, you know what I mean? Like just like a little ungrateful little piggy. I'm just a little greedy little success piggy. Like I want to keep accomplishing dreams, but I don't even want to appreciate them. So like, what's the point of achieving a dream if you're not going to be thankful that you did it? You're not going to pat yourself on the back and you're not going to celebrate. And I don't know if that sounds like cocky or whatever, but like, dude, I want to cheer myself on, man. I'm tired of being like, that was good, but you can do better. I just want to say this was awesome, but I don't allow myself to do that, dude. And I'm skipping to the next thing. It's like I just walk past my own achievements and I don't celebrate them, man. And I want to start giving myself cake. And honestly, tonight, I'm going to go eat cheesecake, dude. I've been so hyper-focused on my vanity and like trying to lose weight because my body dysmorphia is kicking my thumbs into... Can you stop looking at the clay man? You don't have to have a one-sided fight with the clay man. I don't... Like, he's not going to hurt you. He's made of clay. And he's honestly kind of handsome. He looks inbred, actually. The clay man looks inbred. Okay, I'm a little new to clay, so it's gonna take me a minute, man. But anyway, it's gonna be okay, buddy. What the hell are we talking about? Yeah, we were talking about something. Anyway, finish that conversation for me, and we're gonna move on to the next one. So, but all this was said, okay, and then they said, well, what if child you walked in? And I understand that it's important, like the inner child thing is really important. And it's something I used to work on heavily, but I've kind of lost track of my own self-help. And I realized that last night. Like I've been trying so hard to help other people, and I love doing that. And I love being there for people, and I love trying to show that, hey, it's hard to chase your dreams, but it's so worth it, and you can do it, dude. If I can do it, I love to support people, and I try to help people because I used to be in a really dark place, and I figured out how to get out of it with love and support. And not a lot of people have a lot of love and support, so I try to be that for people. And I've kind of noticed that I've let my own practices go to the side. And so it was just a beautiful reminder about, I used to visualize that 7-year-old me was in the car with me. And when I was living on the road and I was feeling bad about myself, I would do that. I'd be like, hey, dude, welcome in. Look at our lives, man. Like we're loved and we're doing your dream, man. And thank you for going through all that stuff to get us here. And last night, I did that for the first time in months. And I cried, man, because I've been so hell-bent on moving forward that I haven't been looking around me and seeing the life I've built for myself. With help and love and support, of course, but I put some damn work in, man. And imagining 7-year-old me, who was always a dreamer but just never thought he would do anything. I always used to be terrified that I was going to waste my life. Even as a kid, I always felt trapped. And like walking, like if kid me, little Salmon, walked in here and I just said, "Hey man, do you want to meet your dog?" You know? Like, you got a best friend. That's your dog. You trained him, dude. Traveled the country with him. It's pretty beautiful, man. And be like, "Hey, the Hot Wheel wall, it's all yours, man. You did that. See that clay thing over there? Yeah, you're pretty good at art now. You always wanted to be, but you can do it. You know? All those instruments, you know how to play them. You love horror movies, and you can watch them all now. No one can tell you not to watch what you want to watch, you know? Like this table, you picked it out, man. People love you. Go sit down. Talk to the camera. Bunch of people are there for you. I don't know. It's just... Your dog hates claymen. I don't know. I don't want to be too sappy, but it was just a really nice moment, and I really appreciate that. You know who you are, so thank you. But I just wanted to talk about it today to kind of give yourself a moment to do that too. And it might work for you, but it changed my brain a little bit. It really helped me pull me out of a dark space because kid me would be stoked. He would lay in bed and he would sit there and be, "I can't wait to wake up older than me. I can't wait to be that version of me." And I am that version right now, and I'm not being grateful. I'm not afraid to admit that, you know. I think I've been working on gratefulness for a while now, and I just really like that practice. I'm going to do that more. So from little Salmon to you, thank you for being there for me. Thank you for loving and supporting me and allowing my dreams to come true. And thanks for appreciating me more than I appreciate myself most days. And I see that, and I really appreciate that. So thank you. So I'm going to take a little sippy of my soda pop now to get some bubbles and calm down. But anyway, yeah, dude, it's just, whoa, wow. Yeah, that hit me in the feelers. Yeah, pretty beautiful stuff. So I think that's kind of a beautiful thing. Maybe that might be an awesome way to get yourself out of a comfort box. Maybe let's talk about this for a minute. So let's call it the child theory. It's a bad name. I don't like that. Child theory. Let's call it the younger me theory. No, because that's not creative enough. Because I'm annoying and I have to have funny creative names for everything, or I'm going to lock myself in a box and pour butter on myself and call myself a little potato until I rot. So we're going to call it. What should we call it? I think it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Teeny me, god damn it. Teeny me, the teeny me theory. Okay, so when you're nervous about doing something, and you're looking around and you're feeling ungrateful, you feel like a loser and all these things, maybe look at yourself and be like, would kid me be stoked if this was the life I was living? And if the answer is no, then you should change your life. You should talk to that kid and be like, what did I want to do? Because I feel like when you're a kid, honestly, in a weird way, it's the most honest version of you, if that makes sense. And I'll explain it in case it doesn't make sense, because I don't know. As a kid, I remember being excited about things. I remember dreaming about who I wanted to be. When I grow up, I want to be this. And I think when you become an adult, there's so much life that you live now, and so many people telling you, no, you can't do this, or you should do this, or you should study this, or you should become this, or the world needs this, or, you go through breakups, you go through friendships that you lose, you annoy certain people and they hurt your feelings. And when you become an adult, there's so much life and so much complication and so much good and bad that I think it becomes pretty gray on who you're supposed to be or who you want to be. But I think when you're a kid, you're like, dude, I'm going to eat this dandelion and go over to Derek's house and we're going to play Tony Hawk. And then after that, I'm going to go look on Google at dioramas of boobs because I'm horny, you know? And that's pretty honest. That's a pretty good day. But I think it gets to a point where you become an adult that it's so complicated. I think that's for everybody, man. To be real, I feel like I have a pretty good grasp of who I am, but even me, I get stressed out about it. Like, do I really like this? You know? It's like fun to just be absolutely asininely confused about yourself. Isn't it? Isn't it a riot? Don't you love it? How you just don't know anything? Oh my God, so fun. But last night when I tuned into that and I said, hey, if I was showing, if I spent a day with 7-year-old me and we walked around my life, would he be stoked? And the answer is yes. So clearly I'm on the right path. So I just got to keep staying true to that and kind of chase that. And I think when making decisions in my life, I think I'm going to start doing that. Be like, hey, would 7-year-old me think this was cool? You know, would he be proud of this? And if it does, I think that's a pretty honest answer if you should do it or not. So anyway, yeah, because honestly, dude, like, kids are rad, man. They are. Their hopefulness and their excitement is just, it dies off for a lot of people. And I'll be real with you, I still definitely have a really good touch on that. Like, I still have my childhood imagination, you know? Like, I could sit here with my banana sword and I could literally in my head imagine that I'm fighting a bunch of samurais with their wieners out and I'm chopping the wieners off and then I'm putting them all in a bucket and I have a bucket of wieners, right? And I'm stabbing the bucket of wieners with my banana sword and I'm saying, you guys have tiny wieners, I have a big wiener because I'm an awesome dude and you are bad samurais with your dumb little wieners. And then I put my blade away and then I go have a root beer float with some hot woman and she goes, dude, you're the only wiener left in town. And I go, yeah. And she goes, and it's a big wiener. And I go, yep. And then she asks to see my banana sword. And I say, no one gets to touch my banana sword. And then she touches it. She turns into poop. And then I have to fight a poop monster who just was a hot chick. And I don't want to do it. I don't want to fight her, man. But I'm telling you anyway. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I still have that in me. I could be in my living room playing that whole thing out. And I don't think a lot of people have that in touch. But also, too, I don't know what that is. Maybe I hit my head too much as a kid and never developed in that part, which I'm grateful for, you know, like this, my soft spot's still just soft, which is cool. I'm just kidding. I don't have a soft spot. I'm hard as hell, dude. I'm a goddamn rock. I have Viagra bones, dork. Okay, anyway. So I don't know how you're doing, but I hope you're doing well. Okay. So basically, this is another thing I want to talk about too. So on my journey of gratefulness, I'm learning a lot. And that is in the last year because I've been doing my video making and my TikTok and all stuff for a year. Okay. And it's the only thing in my life I've ever done for more than a few months because I'm going to be real with you. And I was talking about this last night too. So I'm one of those people where I have a lot of blessings, man. And one of them is that I'm just smart enough that I can figure out most things pretty quickly. And the problem with that I'm learning is it's made me lazy and a coward when things get hard. And I'm not afraid to admit that. And that, because honestly, truth does set you free because now I can be honest and work on that. Because instead of giving up things, I can be like, oh, I'm giving this up because I'm being a coward. So be brave and do the hard stuff. Okay. So before you say I'm being self-hatred, I'm just being honest. Okay. So I'm to the point now in the last few months where I'm really in love with doing this. And I've done this for over a year now, and I've had hella ups and downs. And I've learned that I can get through things. I can do some of the hard stuff. Okay. Like for instance, like right now, you watching me, okay, there's a few steps I had to learn, a lot of steps. Like I had to go learn cameras, and I'm praying to God this looks pretty good because I do everything alone. And so I can't I can't check midway through to see if the lighting's good. I just have to set it up, do some test lighting, and hope to God my camera loves me today and doesn't want to screw it up. But for instance, like I'm using audio software, which I had to teach myself, okay? And I hope it sounds pretty good. And I had to learn mics, and I had to learn cameras, and then you're connected to this, so it's synced up, and then it's not really synced up, so I have to do background editing and the video editing stuff. So like it sounds kind of complicated, but I hate that type of stuff. I don't like it. Like all the like like the maintenance work and like all that. I like to do this. Like when everything's set up, this hour right now is super fun. I love dressing like a bumblebee and talking about a poop monster woman I have to beat with my dong cutting off banana sword. I love that type of stuff. I love when I can be myself and just communicate with you because I'm Italian and I love to talk. And it's fun, man. And I love like the inside jokes we have. I love all that. I love the creative part of it. I love the expressive part of it. I hate the administrative stuff, okay? But I'm learning I can do it. And it's hard for me. I just don't have a brain for that. And dear God, am I excited when this grows to a point where I can hire somebody who does all that for me, and I will pay them well, and I'll probably touch them inappropriately if that's what they need from me, because I don't want to lose them, because Jesus Christ, you just made my life a lot better, and you're honestly going to be better at it too. And I'm also now officially able to admit to myself, I'm not that great at certain things. I don't think I'm really that good at filming things. Okay, I have vision for it, but I think I'm the vision person. I'm learning. I've kind of always known that, but I've definitely like told myself out of insecurity, and I have hyper, what's it called when you're like do everything alone? Not individuality, but self-reliant, hyper. It doesn't matter. Okay, I don't need to know words. You kind of get what I'm saying. But I do self-sufficient, I guess. I'm afraid of teamwork because I'm so committed to my vision. But I'm finally admitting that if I really want my vision to come true, I need other people with their talents to help that happen. And so, what am I talking about? I hope this is all making sense. I'm just talking about what I've learned, okay? And I'm allowed to not make sense. Congratulations, you guys are watching me and my actual brain and how I think about the world. So every day I have little arguments with myself. I'm like, why would you? That's not as if it matters. Okay, anyway. So what I've basically learned is that if you do something consistently for a year, you learn to really love it, the ins and outs, and you learn that if you really care about something, you're willing to do the stuff you hate to do. Because the reward for that, and it's just worth it. And then also, too, it gets easier, man. So, like, now that I know what I'm doing, it gets a little easier. And, of course, I want it to get better. And it will get better over time. I can make it better. I just have to put the work in. And I don't know, maybe this isn't making sense. Basically, what I've learned is that, God damn it, I can do it. And I never really believed that before. I've never done anything consistent. I've never stuck around when I got hard in relationships and education and friendships and life, man. I always bounced out because I always knew I could start something new and I'd be good enough at it to get by. And I don't want to live a life where I was good at, where I got by. I don't want to be someone who just got through life. I want to be somebody who was willing to do some hard stuff to elevate their life to something that they're proud of. And to be real, I didn't think I had that in me. And I'm learning I do. Because you know what? I set this camera up today. And I got this computer and I learned how it worked. And I've learned the software and I've done this stuff. And now I get to sit here and have fun and talk to you guys and express myself and maybe help one or two of you or a lot of you. Or maybe one day I'll see your boobs. It doesn't really matter. It does matter a lot to me, actually. Not the boob thing, but I just want to be a good part of everyone's day. If I can. That's my dream. Because I've been struggling with that too. Okay? I've been really struggling with that. Like, what is my actual dream? I'm doing so many things right now. And I really want the podcast to be a thing. I would love to do guests and stuff like that. I just want to make people smile. That's literally my dream. That's what I've learned. I just want to make people happy. I want to be a good part of people's day. And I thought it was pretty cool because back to the kid thing. So one of my biggest comforts in life, my entire life, ever since I can remember really, has been watching, movies or just watching people, man, like YouTube and stuff like that. Like YouTube always got me stoked. And I have a lot of creators on there that I still watch. And I just realized that I'm slowly becoming one of those for other people. I'm becoming a comfort zone for other people. And it's really cool. It's really cool. Like, I guess I always wanted to do it, but I didn't think I had it in me, It's not true. I always thought I had it in me, but I would say stuff like that, which is, by the way, this is a loser's mentality, and I used to have one pretty heavily, where it's like, oh, I could do that. I could do that, but then you don't actually try. You know, it's much easier to live in a world where you think you can do all these things, but you don't try because you're afraid of failing, because your ego, you don't think can handle it. And that's kind of, once you get around to it, you know, you take some time to talk to your emotions and figure it out. That's the truth, right? So if there's something in you that you say, oh, I could do that. It's not that hard. I could do that. But you don't actually try to do it. It's because you don't want to figure out you can't. Because that's something you're holding on to. Everyone has something they hold on to, and they don't want to lose that. A lot of people, it's a dream. Like, one day I'll do this, you know? Sorry, I'm all teared up and snotty because I'm feeling... This is good for me, man. I feel like I'm letting it out, and I hope you are too. Let it out. Let it out, man. Weep, you little crybaby. But back to what I was saying, because I totally lost it. But yeah, I'm becoming what I love for other people, which is pretty cool. Because in the beginning of my life, and I'm still young, man. I get that. I have a lot to learn, and I love that. Actually, it makes me hopeful, knowing that there's so much more of me that I can become. Like, I love that. Like, I love that I'm not stagnant. I love that this isn't it. If I keep working and I keep trying, what am I going to end up being? What's my life going to end up looking like that? I love that. So that's really cool. It's nice to not know everything. You know, there's a lot of things I don't know. I would say 99.9% of things I don't know. I mean, there's so much to know out there. And if I can lay on my deathbed and if I know 1% of everything, dude, I'm pretty damn traveled in the world of emotions and life and reality. I'm pretty damn. I got kind of good lock on it. But I'm far from there. But I'm excited to keep growing on that. But what was I saying? That's the hard part about being a cutie patootie Italian guy, is I say so much that I lose track. God damn. How are you doing, man? I hope you're doing good. Take another sip of my soda pop, okay? That was good. It's actually not good. It was like a healthy soda, and it tastes like the spit of a man who hates his kids. If that makes sense. Like, that's the tinge it gives me, okay? Also, too, I'm going to block the camera for a second. Don't mind what I'm doing, okay? I'm being filmed now, so I have to be sneaky about my certain substances I do, okay? I'm a fiend. Put me down, doc. He's a fiend. So, yeah, I am addicted to nicotine. That's me. I'm a guy who does nicotine. So I used to smoke cigarettes and chew tobacco and vape. But now I just do my little nicotine mints like a good Christian boy. Because I'm trying to go to heaven. Maybe. Yes, actually. What am I talking? Yes, of course, dude. If it's up there, I'm going. Okay? And I got a lot of work to do. Because sometimes I'm a bad boy, bro. I don't want to be a bad boy, but I got that bad bones in me. Oh, I just remembered what we were talking about. Okay. So, for most of my life, honestly, I was becoming the person I was scared of becoming. I was becoming a liar and someone who abused substances to get by. I was becoming a drunk and a liar who lacked accountability and used his natural talents not to succeed, but to skate by. And only in the last, I'd probably say 2-3 years, man. And just now, I think I'm really starting to learn how to walk. I'm becoming somebody I've wanted to be. I'm becoming who I deserve to be. And I think that's pretty cool. And I think I should celebrate that a little bit more. You know? And I hope that you do that too. And it's okay. That's the biggest thing, is I am proud of this. I've really gotten good at forgiving myself for my past and appreciating that version of me too. So even the version of me I didn't want to be, I'm thankful for that, because that showed me exactly who I didn't want to be. That showed me that I'm not worth that that's not who I'm supposed to be. And I love that guy for going through that stuff, because honestly, if he wouldn't have gone through any of that, then I wouldn't be able to be who I am today, you know? And there's certain things, of course, you know, that I definitely feel weird about when I think about. I've done some weird stuff in my life, man. I've done some pretty attention-seeking garbage. But, you know, my mom told me something that it took me a while to really appreciate this and take it in. But basically, you were doing, throughout your life, no matter where you are, you're doing the best that you could at the time with what you had. So even if it was sloppy, even if it was messy, you're trying to feel the best. You're trying to do the best. You're trying to do the best for yourself. And sometimes you're missing a few points to make the right decision, but you were just trying to get through it, you know? And you might not have been prepared, but you shouldn't be mad at yourself for that, okay? And honestly, I haven't done anything truly that I think is like unforgivable. I do feel like, at least I hope deep down, that I'm a good person. I think that's kind of I think it's hard for everybody. I think we all want to be good people, but I make mistakes, man. And I just hope that I am. At the end of my deathbed, I hope I like, you know what, I actually was pretty good. Because I can do a lot of good things. I try to, you know. But I've done some bad too, you know. I've lied and I've been a bad friend. I've been a bad lover and I've been a bad son and I've been a bad friend, and I've always said that, but you know what I mean? But I've also been really good in those times too. And the older I get, the less, fortunately, the less silly mistakes I make and the less selfish behavior I do. But when I look back at those times, I used to have so much pain and anger towards myself. And what that would cause was me to drown myself out with booze and sleeping around and projecting and all these things, man. Anything to make myself feel better. And I'm not afraid to admit that anymore. Yeah, not afraid to admit that. And but by doing all that stuff, it got me farther and farther away from who I am. And then I got to a point where I looked in the mirror and it was a stranger. And luckily for me, and I don't know why this happened for me. I know it doesn't happen for everybody. Some people get worse. You know, they just give up. But I looked in that mirror and I started crying. I started crying. And I was like, dude, this isn't us. I don't like this. The world isn't against me. My friends aren't against me. My parents don't hate me. The world likes me, but you don't like you. And you're ruining this. And I'm going to save us because we deserve that. We deserve to be the person we know we should be. And so that was a breaking point for me because I thought I hit rock bottom so many times, but I didn't, because that was rock bottom with the help. I was helping myself get there through booze. I was helping myself get there through bad decisions. But this was a sober moment. I was completely and fundamentally sober, looking in the mirror. I had nothing to blame anymore. That deep pain in my heart, it wasn't there because of booze, because I used to drink and wake up and be like, well, I'm sad because I drank. I'm sad because of the decision I made. I'm sad because of all these things. There was always an excuse to explain why I was sad, why life wasn't going my way. And until that day when I was sober and in my mom's house, looking in that mirror and crying, the only excuse was me. The only thing I could fall back on was the truth. And I love that moment, and I cherish that moment. I just bawled. And it was the first time I talked to my emotions and I talked to myself in an honest way. And I'm really blessed that that moment happened. And I'm very fortunate that I was in the right place with the right chemicals in my head to have that moment. And so I think it's important to me to try to tell these stories and try to communicate these things, because I got lucky, bro. I got lucky. I got lucky that that was the moment and that's how I reacted. I'm fortunate for that, you know, because I don't know how to describe it. Basically, like, you know, at least me, I don't have control over thoughts, you know, like I kind of do. Like I can be like, that's a cup. This is a cup. I'm going to put my finger in my mouth and tell you that it smells good. It's minty. You know, I can add those thoughts I control, but I feel like when I'm hyper emotional, they just kind of come at me, man. My brain fills up with words and sentences and all this stuff. And I just got lucky that I got the right ones. You know, I could have looked in that mirror and this could be a totally different conversation. And so I don't know. I try to express my truth and my honesty to everybody the best that I can, you know, and just because maybe when you're in those moments, your brain might give you this idea. It might give you what I'm saying. It might say that instead. It might tell you, hey, it's okay that you're the problem. Let's fix this. Rather than you're the problem that's in this, you know? And I know that's really heavy. But I care about stuff like that, dude. You know? Because, like, if I would have given up, I wouldn't have you guys. I wouldn't have Cowboy. I wouldn't have my potential anymore. And I want that. And I'm glad I have it. And the only reason I do is because the old versions of me, they stuck around. And they tried their best. And because they did, I'm me. And I'm still here. And I'm not going to disrespect them by saying I'm mad at them anymore. You know? I'm not going to disrespect younger me, who worked his ass off to get here. I'm going to be proud of that, dude. I'm not going to live in shame about it anymore. Okay? So, God, that felt ethereal. That felt good, man. I love you guys, man. I love being honest with you. I'm blessed to have this position to be able to share this stuff with you. So, and I do find it kind of funny. It is weird. It's like expressing myself on this camera in my living room, my studio spot. And just all the interactions I have with you guys all day and my videos and stuff like that, and just seeing, you know, this rare moment where I'm thinking before I speak. So when I started my journey of figuring out who I was, I did it completely alone. And then I started reaching out to family and friends and communicating about it. But it's so awesome that now I'm learning more about myself and healing and figuring things out and really moving in the right direction now, because I have an audience that's a mirror of who I am. You know, you guys are a mirror for me. You let me see my vulnerabilities. You let me see a lot of my truth. And all of you are so kind and funny. And a lot of you are like me. And I like what I see. And that's really cool. That's really cool. I feel like, I don't know. I just love you guys. And I just think it's really cool. And I thank you for allowing me to experience this and open up to you and figure out a few more pieces of me that I haven't figured out yet. And I'm excited to see where this goes. Because talking with you and communicating like this, it heals me in a lot of ways and opens my eyes to a lot of new things. Like some issues in me that I didn't even know I had. Some great things about me I didn't know I had. And I'm one of those people now that when I see issues in me, not every time, don't get me wrong, okay? I'm not a superhero, okay? I'm a normal man, so sometimes I think bad things about me, and then I spiral a little bit, and I believe them, and I don't automatically go, like, let's fix this. But I always come around to it, and I calm down, I take a breather, I stop touching myself and crying, and I sit there, and I just go, okay. No, we can probably handle that. And I'm nice about that. So that's going to lead me to one more thing I wanted to talk about. In some deep conversations I have with friends recently, and I really like this. So I've always been jealous in relationships because of insecurity and because of my past. I have been someone who's always had one foot out of the door, right? Because I didn't want to get hurt. I was always waiting for every little thing that they could do wrong to be an excuse for me to leave. Like, oh my God, good thing I avoided that one. You know what I mean? Rather than putting 2 feet in and letting myself fully love somebody, because I didn't want to get hurt. And I don't want to live a life like that where I half love everybody in my life. Like, I've always been really good at leaving people behind. And that's the truth. I've always been really good about breakups. You know, I get over them very quickly. And I was talking to my dad about this, and I realized, it's like every time I'd break up with somebody, I always thought about the freedom it gave me. And I feel like that's a pretty good sign that I wasn't really a good partner, right? And that's the truth, dude. Like, yes, there is positives to it too. But I feel like there's a lot of relationships in me that I actually really did care about them, and I haven't let myself process it. I think there's people I miss really dearly, and to protect myself, I've just moved on. And I don't want to be that person anymore. I want to jump 2 feet into love, and I want to be that person. And so this conversation led me to realizing something that I want to start practicing doing. So again, I'm full circling it back to like jealousy and insecurity in relationships. So I call him Toby. Right now I'm calling him Mark. Mark Houston. It's a joke on Steve Austin because that was funny. So when I get in my head and get jealous or insecure, or I'm talking ill on myself, I used to hate that for a part of me. And I still struggle with that where I'm like, why are you here? Why are these thoughts here? And I realized something. It's my job. I'm sorry. It's your job to deal with your emotions. It's yours. You're the manager. I say this all the time. You own a big, beautiful company, and that's you. You're an awesome company. I mean, the things you make are beautiful, and they're yours, and they're unique, and the world needs them. But if you want a successful company, you have to put the work in. You have to manage all the parts of you. So Mark Houston, okay, formerly known as Toby, is one of my employees. Okay? And I hate him and I belittle him all the time. When he shows up, I get so mad. He's the one who comes to me. He's like, well, what if she's cheating? What if she's lying? What's that on the counter? And I call him crazy. He's so paranoid that I hate him. But that's a part of me, man. He's a part of my company. He's a part of my dream. He's going to be with me forever. And I realized instead of yelling at him, what he needs from me, and it's a beautiful opportunity for me to heal, is that I need to sit him down and comfort him. I need to explain to him, it's okay, man. Hey, Mark, let's sit down and talk about this. I know you're trying to protect yourself, and I totally get that. It's scary what we're doing. But let's talk about how it could be beautiful. How about this? How about we just talk about how maybe that isn't real? Okay? No, I'm not mad at you for thinking that. I want to change the conversation from shut up, I hate you, to let me comfort you. Let me be the shoulder for you to lean on. Me being the shoulder for myself. And comfort that stuff. Because Mark is not a bad person. Mark's not a bad guy. That piece of me is not a villain. That's a hurt kid. That's a scared person. He's scared. He doesn't want to get hurt anymore. So why am I being so mean to him? It's not helping him. I should comfort that part of me. And there's probably parts of you, and there's versions of you in your head that you feel the same way about, where you villainize for years and you're mad they're there, and you think less of yourself because they're there. But the truth is, this is an awesome opportunity for you to be there for yourself and comfort that and let them know it's going to be okay. I don't hate you. You're just trying to protect me, but we got this. It's not going to be as bad as we think it is. And I'm going to prove that to you. I'm not going to be as bad as you think I am. I'm not mad at you anymore. Let's heal this. Let's fix our relationship. And I don't know, that was really powerful for me. I want to be friends with that side of me. I'm friends with a lot of other bad sides of me. They're not bad, but less productive parts of me. And they're only there because I've been hurt. And I've been let down. And now I'm turning around and I'm letting them down again. And that's not cool, man. I don't want to be that type of boss. I don't want to be that type of human to myself. So, please spend some time sitting on these things today and think about it, man. I think it's really beautiful too. What parts of you, I have a question for you. You guys ask me questions and I really appreciate and love them, but what parts of you, do you see as flawed and villainous and angry and you hate that they're there? What parts is it? Try to comfort them. When they come up, don't be angry with them. If it helps, I give them a name, Like I call my depression and my anxiety I call Ziggy and Zagawe. And then, I've talked about this before, but I have names for all my emotions, even my good ones. But I haven't stretched that theory, which really does help me by personifying my feelings, to certain negative ones of them, like jealousy or envy. And I think I'm going to try that. I think it's going to be really helpful for me. And so that tool I want to give to you. I think you should personify these things, and I think you should sit with them and comfort them instead. And I think together we can make a promise that that's what we're going to do. And so I'm going to give you my pinky, and we're going to lock pinkies. I spit on it, so it's wet. And we're going to pull, and it ain't coming undone because we have strong pinkies. And now they're covered in my spit because that's cute, and that's how you make promises. And you got to kiss your little hand hole because that's cutesy, and that's what people do. But I think we should do that. I think we should, as a collective, we should try to comfort those feelings instead, and just ask some serious questions and understand that a lot of your fears and insecurities and all these things come from pain from your past. That's a version of you that hasn't healed yet. It's a version of you that you're being just as mean to as the original thing that hurt that. And I don't want to bully myself anymore. I want to bully John. Okay? I get a kick out of that. John, you're stinky. You're stinky. You're a cutie pie. I love you. Okay? But you know what I mean? I don't want to bully myself anymore. And this is going to be a long journey for us. This is not going to happen overnight. It's still going to happen, and you're still going to sometimes not be great at it, but that takes practice and time. But I promise it's worth it, you know? And even me, right? Like I think about my emotions all the time, and I'm very open. But, I mean, maybe this is an example for you. It takes a long time for certain things to click, right? Because years ago, I named my depression and my sadness, and I named my happiness and my anxiety. I named all the big things I was struggling with, right? And that's years ago. And just yesterday did I think about applying that to even more parts of me. All right, so be kind to yourself, because even if you figured one thing out, and that might be the answer for another thing, it might take you years to connect those dots, because your big, beautiful, complicated brain is doing a lot every single day. And sometimes you just got to wait for it to click. So give yourself the grace to wait. Yeah, when things get tough, just know you might figure it out tomorrow, or maybe not figure it out in 2 years, but you're going to figure it out. So give yourself a little break there. So, wow, this was good, man. I needed this. God, I've been feeling rusty, dusty, and puckered up, dude, and pretty awesome. This was really nice. And so if you're going for a walk, if you're going for a drive, whatever you're doing, it's going to be okay. It's going to be okay. I'm just like a bumblebee, and I have a nice wiener. Life's going to be good. And even if you're not just like a bumblebee, and maybe your wiener isn't great, or maybe you don't have a wiener, I like it. I'm into it. I'm into it a lot. Flappy, long, tiny, whatever you got down there, I love it. And you're worth it. I want to see it. So, anyway, I am going to end this with a little bit of fun, a little bit of happiness, because, hey, at the end of therapy, it's important to go home, flick your bean, and know that you're not alone. Okay? So, me, your papa, who has cried and let them sing, I feel good, dude. I feel like 1,000 pounds just got lifted off of me as I knock things over. And I hope you feel the same way too. So anyway, we've had some fun. We've had some laughs. We've had some conversations. And perfect timing. Come here. Say howdy. Cowboy, as always. Kiss from me. Kiss from you. And I think someone has to take a poopy, which is also me. God, are you proud of me? I didn't poop this whole time. I held it in. So I'm going to go make a mess like the best. And I'm going to get out of here. And just remember that I love you. And I'm your papa. And I'll see you next week for another episode of Urban Stepdad. So, all right. I'll catch you later. I love you.